Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Mizzle. You watch my channel Mizzle 14, and I'm back doing a review of MTV Catfish Season 8, Episode 20, the episode of Brooklyn and Jason. Alright, let's jump right into it. There's no MTV Ghost this week, so it won't be that. It'll just be Catfish, and then I'm resuming the new season of Sisters on BET. Yes, I did Season 1, so I'm going to do Season 2 review. So after I do this Catfish video, I'm going to start watching Sisters and do the review. So stay tuned to those. If you have enjoyed my video and you enjoy my other videos on my channel, please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Help me get up there. I'm getting very close to the finish line of monetization. So the support is very appreciated. That. And I appreciate everyone who has been watching my Catfish. It's one of my most viewed show on my YouTube channel. So I appreciate everyone who's been tuning in, making comments, tell me how y'all feel. I appreciate that. Alright, let's jump right into it. So Addie wrote the show, wrote Neve about her best friend Brooklyn. They both are in Indiana, and her best friend Brooklyn has been talking to somebody named Jason from Plenty of Fish, POF, and they has been talking, they've been texting them back and forth, but they never video chat. They never talk on the phone. They just been texting back and forth. And now, you know, due to the midst of pandemic and stuff, and it's very hard to meet people, which is understandable in traveling. He said he's an EMT worker, he's a father, he's a caring, handsome guy, and all that stuff. But they had never met face to face. And I was like, oh my gosh. So at one time when they were trying to meet, he always been canceling on her and saying it's work, it's this, it's that. He can't because COVID, craziness. He works 7 days a week. I'll grant it, yes. Sometimes people are busy, but you can make time for people you want to meet with. And then you never meet her, and then you keep canceling. That's something. So Allie said, yes, my friend Brooklyn, it seems like it's okay guy, but she just ignoring all the red flags. Like, he don't want to meet. He don't want to talk on the phone. It's like, he keep canceling. It's like, what? What's going on? So, Brooklyn said, listen, boo. If we don't meet face to face, then we don't even need any grace in meeting each other. No. And I'm going to leave you. And that's exactly what she did. They meet face to face. She left them. And she started talking to somebody else. I said, you better go, Brooklyn. And Brooklyn's a beautiful woman. So, Brooklyn started talking to somebody else. And she got kids, too. So, she has 4 kids. I said, oh, okay, girl. You want somebody, I guess you want somebody to settle down with, to help you with the kids, and be love life and loving. And that's not bad. That's a good girl. Just have somebody that's stable and be there for you and you're forever. So, yeah, she's just talking to somebody else. And it's like recently. It's not like a long time. It's like a few weeks they've been talking and everything. So she just want to know who this Jason is. And if he's going on. Because it's like, I've been talking to this person. And while she did left him and start talking to somebody else. And she actually met this person in face to face. And then they started dating. Jason keep popping up. Just keep popping up like a freaking pimple. Keep popping. And I was like, why you keep popping up? And so, how you doing? How's your kids? How's this and that? And just keep, it's like on and off, on and off, on and off. And she said she's tired of that. She is tired of that. So they've been talking and everything, and Brooklyn was talking to Neve and Cammy, and Allie was there, and then they get all the spills and details about him. And they asked her, is it any person in your life that you could think of, a past ex or whatever, that you could think of that would catfish you? Maybe somebody you meet that didn't go well and they didn't want to get revenge and stuff like that. So she immediately came with this person named Carlos. She said her and Carlos was talking for a little bit, and he was living with this girl named Kara, and Kara, her best friend Rio, and they was roommates. But as she was talking to Rio, no, as Brooklyn was talking to Carlos, There's so many names, y'all. It's just getting all mixed up. As Brooklyn was talking to Carlos, the girls, the things, that's what Karen called them, thing 1 and thing 2. So I'm going to call them the things. The things was harassing Brooklyn. And Brooklyn and Carlos, it was a lot of drama going on with those two. So it was like they was not trying to get in a relationship. Maybe she was not trying to get in a romantic relationship with him because there was so much drama. So they just started becoming friends. But when this thing got too much, she was like, you know what? She had to end it. She had to cut it because it was not going any further. She getting harassed by somebody, these things, and she needs to move on. So that's when she started dating somebody else. But what we find out is that not dating somebody else yet. When she found out after she ended with Carlos, 2 days later, she started talking to Jason. So I was like, ooh, that's kind of coincidence. That's kind of fishy. You ended with Carlos, 2 days later you started with Jason. So they was like, maybe Carlos is chasing. Because it's so convenient that 2 days later after you stop talking to him, and then he just go create another profile and continue talking to you. Now, it's time for investigation. And they looked at the phone number, they didn't get no match. Look at the photos, they got something. They didn't get that much matches from there. So they were saying, you know what, let's just search the database. They searched the fire department database because one of the pictures. Now, before I go there, Brooklyn said that, listen, he keep popping up back and forth. So he said, I need to know who you are and this is you, real person. So what you need to do is send me a picture right now with my name on it and send it to me now. And little behold, it sent a picture. It looked legit. I would think it looked fake. I was like, it did look legit. It had the handwritten Brooklyn on it, on a piece of paper, holding the picture. And I was like, the paper, and I was like, does that look fake? But Cammy and Neve said that look really legit. They look like really legit. Like, it's really his handwriting. He's really holding the paper. And I said, sounds weird. Like, really? The same guy. So that's one of it. So when they searched the picture of the handwriting and the printing, they was like, you know what? That's it. Because they searched the database and they searched that picture when he was in the fire department and all that stuff. And they didn't even come up. So they said, you know what? They were looking at Carlos' profile on Facebook. Because Jason said he don't have no social media. I said, oh, that's crazy. You know, social media? I mean, most people don't have social media. You may not be very high versed in the social media, but most people would have social media accounts. They looked at the Carlos profile and looked at things, and it was like, hold up. And then after they look at Carlos, they was looking at Cara / or Rio. I think it was Rio page. They looked at Rio page. And when they saw the Rio page, it was a message from Megan. And it say, hey Rio, did you see Cara around? All that stuff. So they look at that and they say, oh, Megan must be a mutual friend between Cara and Rio, the things. They messaged Megan, and Megan responded. And she talked to them. And she was like, okay, yes. Carlos and Cara was in a relationship. They were boyfriend and girlfriends. They exes now, but they was in a relationship. They was living together and all that stuff. And they was like, she know Brooklyn because Brooklyn is the reason why Cara and Carlos broke up. And he was cheating on Cara with Brooklyn. So that's how it ended. I was like, oh. So they was like, oh, really? Oh, affair? They was having an affair? So they would go like that. So they said, do you think we could be able to talk to Cara? She said, yeah, I think we can talk to Cara. She said, so Lee told Megan to message Cara, let her know, and I will reach out to her as well. So they reached out to Cara. Cara's at work, so they talked to the next day to her. So they came the next day, and Cara got on the phone. And Cara said that, yes, me and Carlos was in a relationship. We was in a relationship. We was together. We were been together for like a year and a half. And they sleep in the same bed together. All the nine. Everything was good at first. And then after 6 months, things went left. Then he started talking to different females. And then when Brooklyn came along, she would not go away. So when Brooklyn came around, I was pissed off because I was so done I had to kick him out the house. But I was feeling bad because he had a daughter living in the house. So, but at the same time, for my sanity, I gotta let this thing go. So she let him go. And that's that. And she mentioned about him cheating and all that stuff. And she said he's a cheater, he's a dog, like he does this. Like, and Booker's a homewrecker. Booker's a homewrecker, silent hoe, all this. I said, calm down. She was going heated. I was like, girl, you that serious? But Kevin said, with things situations like this, you check the man, not the other female, because sometimes the man might be lying, because he's telling you this girl is a friend, whatever, is cheating on you or whatever, and then he telling Brooklyn that they are roommates, and then is like, what's going on? So maybe he's lying to both of them and thinking they something different when it's not. So she was like, at one time he was in the shower, I got in his phone and I saw text messages between Carlos and Brooklyn. But Brooklyn was not calling Carlos Carlos. Brooklyn was calling Carlos Jason. So it was like, oh, so Carlos is Jason. Like, dude was like, okay. That's like, it's like, it was funny how all these things, like this things just being blurted out. They just straight up telling the truth. It's like, in some way, shape, or form, they just blurting things out. And it was like, oh, okay. So now we gotta tell Brooklyn. We gotta tell Brooklyn. So they told Brooklyn everything. You know, she was devastated. She was like, oh my gosh, why would you do this? What was the reason? It's like, come on. Text me as Jason. That's who you are. So they would say, you know what? We got to talk to Carlos. We got to talk to Carlos and see what's to get the bottom of this. Because it's that. Now, they did tell Brooklyn what Carlos said. And she said, that's not what it was. It's like, no. No. He told me they was definitely roommates. And all that stuff. So, what was going on? So they got a Carlos on the phone. And Carlos immediately joined the Zoom. And he got there. And long story short, he was not lying. He said, let me clear this up. I am not Jason. And I believe him when he said that. And you know why I believe him? It's like, okay, he didn't look suspicious. He didn't look guilty. He just sat there. He heard what they said. And he broke it down, bullet points by bullet points. This, yada, 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 yada. He said, okay, I'm not Jason. I'm not Jason. We were good friends. And he debunked Carver's story. He said, no, me and Carver was not in a relationship. We were just roommates. And she was starting harassing the females I was talking to, because I was talking to the females, and she was starting to harass them because she likes him or something like that. And I guess he wasn't giving him time to play, so he keep coming after the females. So he had to leave out the house because it was too much with this girl. She was very obsessive, stalkerish, doing a lot, doing the most for him. So he had to let it go. So he said, listen. He said, who you think of Jason is? He said, you know what? The things are Jason. Cara Rio. They are Jason. I was like, oh. Now it's like, yo, these things were lying to us. They were lying to us because Cammy, Neve, and Brooklyn all were saying that this guy is not lying. He is telling the truth. He is really telling the truth. So we gotta get at the things. So they would say, you know what? Let's talk to Rio. Because we talked to Cara. Let's message Rio. And Rio responded and said, oh, Cara told me that she spoke to you, and I have a feeling and figured that you will talk to us. Talk to me. I was like, oh. Oh, you had a feeling that they was going to reach out to you. Okay. What's the reason why you feel that way? They reached out to you. So they talked. And they got in a Zoom. So what they said is like, listen, need send the Zoom link to them. So they can get it on in a minute. So we said, let's do this. Let's get the things on the Zoom in Brooklyn. You will stay hidden, but you can hear them. And you have a private chat between me, you, and Neve while they talking. And then when they get too much and everything, and you want to say something, they can get on it. Okay? She said, okay, fine. So Brooklyn got heavy up, got hidden. Then the things, Rio and Kala got back up. And Neve was like, you mentioned that you had figured that we will reach out to you. And you will be talking to us soon. What will you mean by that? She said, well, I know you talked to Kyla and all that stuff that she was saying and everything, and then I just figured that you would talk to her because of things that we have done. And we have did, and we just wanted to tell you what's going on. So they was like, oh, so what's going on? So Kyla said, well, I let you know that what I told you the other day, I made it up, and what I told you the other day, I wasn't telling you the whole truth, and I let you know that I am one half of Jason. Rio is the other half of Jason. We both are Jasons. I was like, oh, okay, you were straight up and telling the truth, huh? Yes, they was Jason, and I said, oh, the things are Jason. So what was going on? She was like, basically, that I was reaching out to, I created this profile, because then all that stuff was going on with me and Carlos. So I created this profile to get that booklet because she would not let go. She was not going away. And I was trying to get her out the picture. So I was creating this profile to get her out the way to say things that Carlos probably won't say to her. Oh, you know what? I just jumped ahead, y'all. I jumped ahead. Let me go back. The reason they figured out is the things that could be, that was actually Jason, and they realized the girls was lying, it's because Cammy, I would say you better go ahead, Cammy, with your good analytical skills. Cammy looked at the text messages. She said the text messages looked kind of suspicious because you could tell somebody about their communication, whether the male talk or female talk. I mean, in some way, shape, or form, how females talk through communication is different from how men talk communication when they text. And she looked at the text messages that Jason was doing, and she looked at the text messages that Ria was doing, and realized that it was spaces and the punctuation marks and the end of the sentences, and it's space between the last letter and the punctuation marks. So it's like consistent. And we look at Jason, it's the same thing. And we looked at Rio, it was the same thing. So she said, you know what? This is the type of text that a guy would not do. So that's what they believed that Carlos was telling the truth. Because I said, guys will not text like this. Because when I looked at myself, I was looking at myself, I was like, oh, let me check my phone. And I realized, yes, guys most don't really use punctuation marks when they text. They may be short, they use shorthand, straight to the point, abbreviation, not much punctuation. If they do, the punctuation is not that far apart. It's like, it's not running away from the last letter. It's right connected. Because when I looked at my thing, I put my punctuation right next to the letter. I know space is out. So I was like, yes, it is a different communication when you talk to a female and a guy. And then they looked at it, and then when they looked at Carlos' thing, they was like, Carlos don't text like that. So now they realized that it was the things that was actually Jason. Now back to what I was saying. So they said, yeah, she was not going away. She's not doing this, so like that. I had to reach out and go and stuff. And then I wanted to complete my mission by letting her go, and she got the way. And everything. So I was like, oh, so you was trying to harass her so she could leave out the place and leave Carlos alone. So you can have Carlos, but you're not with Carlos. So what you doing, Kyla? And but Brooklyn said that is a definite lie. Because Brooklyn had enough. No, before. Now they would say the pictures. How y'all got those pictures? They would say, listen, they realized, they reached out to the person they were stealing the pictures from, broke it down, because that picture with the Brooklyn on it, it looked legit. So how you got that picture? They was like, oh, we reached out to the person who was stealing the picture from. We told them the truth, and can you do them a favor by holding a sign with the name Brooklyn and everything? He did it for them and sent the picture. That's how they sent her the picture with the Brooklyn name on it. I said, he just did all that You confess that you catfish him. I guess she was like, they confessed they took my pictures, so let me just do them a favor. So I was like, oh. Okay, so Neve said, listen, if you accomplished what you was doing, which you got Brooklyn and Carlos to stop talking, why y'all continue harassing this chick? They said, oh, Rio said we were bored. Y'all were bored. So y'all had nothing to do but to harass this chick. I was like, Brooklyn had enough. She was like, you know what? Nah, y'all are doing the most. I can't believe what y'all would do this. It was not this serious. It was nothing going on with me and him. All that stuff. We was friends. So I don't know why y'all would took it that far. It's like, why is Brooklyn? Because she said she would never stop. She kept coming. She kept coming. She kept coming. And everything. I said, girl, like, come on. You harass all these females and like, why only talking to Brooklyn? Because she didn't want to let it go? Because she was talking to Carlos. Y'all was not together. Y'all was not in a relationship. And he said, oh, well, he would say that, talk to my friends and families that we were in a relationship, but we was not with anybody, we in behind closed doors. I'm not his girl. I said, whatever Carlos was saying, it is what it is, girl, but you should not have got out of Brooklyn. So she said, oh, I apologize I apologize to Brooklyn. She didn't deserve all that and everything. And yes, I apologize. We're sorry. We're sorry. I'm sorry. And that's it. That's how it So after that, 2 months later, Brooklyn have not heard from the things lately. They never reach out to Brooklyn anymore. They say they will stop that. Carla and Brooklyn are still friends with Carlos, so they're gonna learn how to coexist peacefully and being friends with Carlos. And she is decided to focus straight on a new boyfriend that she met. And he's real, so she gonna work on that. And that's how it is. So that was MTV Catfish, y'all. Please hope y'all like it. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Tell me how y'all feel about this episode. How do y'all feel about this everything? How do you feel about the things? How do you feel about this whole situation? And I'll talk to y'all next week, alright? Peace.